how was the mindset of entrepreneur who's building a Proficorn different from that of a unicorn?
I think the first thing we have to realize, and it is more general for entrepreneurs, the common perception is that entrepreneurs are basically big risk takers. And I think this is a fallacy. Entrepreneurs basically are risk reducers, because the odds that your business will succeed are probably less than 0.01%. 99.99% ventures actually fail or sort of become the living dead. That's the reality. And when I say succeed, it means you achieve good scale in what you're doing. Now, yet every entrepreneur who's going out there believes they have a 70 or 80% chance of success. And that optimism is very important for getting started. So you're going to work every day to ensure that your business survives one more day, one more week, one more month, because that increases your odds of success. Now, the difference between unicorn entrepreneurs, and sort of entrepreneurs with a Proficorn mindset, I think first is that the number one sort of uh, 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 sort of master, as it were, for entrepreneurs becomes the investor in the case of unicorns, because you've raised multiple rounds. Even if you have reached, say, $1 billion, the odds are that the entrepreneur will probably own maybe 10% or so if multiple rounds of investment have come in. So, in a way, your destiny is being decided more by the investors. And you hear a lot of these stories where investors basically are calling the shots in the company.
True.
In many of these cases. So, in a way, the entrepreneur in a unicorn is more of a glorified, sort of high paid employee. That's the unfortunate reality, because the board control is with the investors, the rights are with the investors. If there is a down round, entrepreneurs are the ones who lose big time. And as we are seeing down rounds over the last 1.5 years, because valuations had reached unsustainable levels. In the other case, for a Proficorn entrepreneur, you actually need to build a company at 100 million level. And if you're owning most of it, you have the same wealth creation that a unicorn would have at, say, $1 billion level for founders. So I think that's very important one. It's easier to do 100 million for a valuation company than a $1 billion valuation company, first. Second is that I say this in my book, that in times of crises, and we have seen quite a few of those in the last 3 years, from the pandemic, the sort of startup funding downturn, etc., is that the investor basically pushes entrepreneurs to cut costs immediately. And it's a diktat. You have to cut 20-25% costs because you're not still profitable, and you have to then increase the runway or whatever it is that they want out there. In the case of a Proficorn, okay, because you're profitable, B, you don't have investors, you can afford to take the longer view. And we went through that in the pandemic time. We froze salaries, but we never fired anyone in Netcore. And my approach was that, you can't have fair weather. See, the people have memories. I mean, while you're in good times, you can hire, but when you fire people at bad times, it's not easy also for them to get a job outside. And you are firing them for your mistakes because you guessed wrong on the market. That's not right. So I think the mindset is very different. I think the third one angle, which I would say, is that Proficorn entrepreneurs tend to have a much longer horizon. Yeah, because for me, it's about, you're on a highway with no exits. I'm here to build a business forever. I will always look at options for exit which come, but I'm here to build a business. It's an infinite mindset, as Simon Sinek puts it. But for the unicorn, with investors, with significant stake held by investors, it's always the next round of investors. When is the exit? Because funds have limited time. So you're always building a business for the next round of investors rather than for customers, rather than for your employees, rather than for your core stakeholders. Okay, who are the value creators for you all? I mean, you can only create value if your customers are willing to pay you more than what it costs to create the product. That's value creation. And your employees are critical in making it happen.
Brilliant.